Oh, that was sketchy. Rusty nail. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna just about stepped on a rusty nail, so I'm gonna count my blessings. Hazardous here, man. Alrighty guys, so we just passed Tyotin Creek. So Hunter Jack was a chief from one of the Bridge River bands here, and he was famous for running guys out of here because he had a secret claim up on Tyotin Creek, which that's what people think it was. And he didn't like people coming in and taking his land, and he was one of the chiefs. He started a ferry business to let people across the river, and then very selectively would let certain prospectors that he trusted into the region to prospect. But it was kind of his domain for a long time. But Tyotin Creek, he had some kind of cache or some honey hole sitting on Tyotin Creek, and he wanted to protect it, so he'd keep everybody out of the Bridge River. But keep in mind, guys, they traverse this on foot or in a boat, like canoeing and rowing. But he died mysteriously at Seton Lake. These guys walked from Lillooet to Bralorne. Like, we're driving, and it's about 2 hours of driving to get to Bralorne from Lillooet, but imagine walking, like on foot with your packing in and out. Okay, great, you found 100 pounds of gold. Awesome, you're rich now, but you got to get all this out, right? So what, you're gonna hike up several mountain passes and over several valleys with 150 pounds or 100 pounds of gold strapped to your back? And actually, cool anecdote, Bill Barley mentioned this in his Fraser River video series. A lot of guys drowned in the Fraser on their way home. So they'd make their pile, they'd fill their pokes full of gold, and gold's heavy, right? And to ensure that they didn't lose it or, leave it anywhere, they would tie the gold pokes to themselves, and then they'd have to build rafts and raft down the river to go back to New Westminster, so where they could get the train to Vancouver, and then from Vancouver they'd head out to like wherever their homeland was, right? The motherland. But a lot of these guys, if the raft capsized and their gold pokes were tied to them, the gold poke was like an anchor, and it would just pull you down. And so there's probably several $1 million of gold sitting at the bottom of the Fraser that has never been recovered, probably never will be. It'd be extreme to try and recover it. I don't even know where you'd start, like where to look. You'd have to go to where the guys capsized, and then how much has it moved downriver from then. But bottom line is, guys, is that like when as a miner prospector back in those days, right, we got trucks now and vehicles and machines, but back in the day, if you got 100 pounds of gold, like that's all power to you, great, but you got to get it out. And there's stories of guys like shedding gear, leaving food behind, all kinds of things. One prospector showed up in town, he was scrawny, he looked like he hadn't eaten in a week because he was walking and he couldn't handle the weight of everything. So what did he do? He ditched some of his food, kept the gold with him, and then by the time he got into town, he was just about ready to collapse from starvation. But then he got, the guys in town took care of him and stuff, because he came back with he got money, right? It's just he had to sacrifice his food supplies to be able to carry his gold, right? So these were the kind of decisions these guys would have to make back in the day. So this is Carpenter Lake, guys. The water level is pretty low right now. There's 3 lakes of note here. There's Downtown Lake, which is formed by the LeJoy Dam. There's Carpenter Lake, which is formed by the Terzaghi Dam, diversion dam, which diverts water down the mountain to Seton and Shaleth. And then there's Seton Lake, which is the last lake in the chain that has the Seton Dam and then a powerhouse in Lillooet. So the powerhouse that is in Lillooet is the last part of the chain from here. So we're gonna basically, like, we go to the LeJoy, we do the LeJoy, and then as we head back, we're gonna dissect the whole Bridge River power system as each phase of it. You've got 3 dams and 4 powerhouses. You've got the 2 powerhouses in Seton and Shaleth. You've got the Lillooet powerhouse, and then you've got the LeJoy powerhouse. And they all provide power for their specific areas, and then any surplus power, I'd imagine they send to Squamish, Vancouver area. Because this is all district of Squamish, guys. Squamish, Lillooet. So the whole point of this diversion dam was to basically take the Bridge River and turn it into a lake. And all that snow, all the snow up on the mountains, that's the source of power. They're reusing the water 3 times. Like I said with my Stave Powerhouse series, Same concept, guys. They're using the water over and over to generate power. So the same water gets used 3 times to generate power 3 different times. So they're trying to be ecologically sustainable, right? Yeah, look at you can see where the river is kind of resurrected itself. Poor Bridge River. You got the shaft. It's meandering too. It's back to the meandering style. Everybody drives in the middle here. Go over to the side when you need to. Can't believe the weather, man. We got really lucky here. I was really hoping we weren't going to have like gray sky and doom and gloom cloud. Because even when it's not raining, it doesn't, you don't get the same effect that you do when it's sunny. I'll take what I can get though, but this is perfect. But water's good. Rain is good. I'm not complaining about the rain because we need it. Otherwise we get scorched mountainsides. Alrighty guys, so we passed Gun Creek, another Gold Creek, Gun Creek. Placer Gold, and then these guys got to Bralorne, and we'll talk about Bralorne when we get there. Actually, you know what? You guys got to wait. You got to stick around and watch the rest of the video to see what I'm going to say there. But we're almost in Gold Bridge, guys. We're coming in Gold Bridge. I definitely recommend this route, guys. If you stay in Lillooet the day, you don't want to do it from Vancouver in a day, too much, unless you're going to stay in Bralorne because you got to drive back, right? So you drive 6 hours and then 2 hours back. It's going to be 8 hours. It's going to be too much. The way I would do it, I would stay in Lillooet, and then in the morning, drive from Lillooet out here, spend the day, come back, even stay in Lillooet another night if you want, or go up to Cache Creek, Kamloops. Kamloops is about 2 hours from Lillooet. But that's all major highway stuff. This is technically a major highway, but like I said, I do that with quotations because it's like a highway. But it is classified as British Columbia Highway 40. That is the technical classification for it. Credit to the road maintenance guys. It's well taken care of. It's a good road. Considering the environment and the variables involved with it. And a lot of prospectors guys were kept out of this area just for the sheer isolation and ruggedness. Like, you had to really want to come here. And it never really got its due. Historically, or even in the time, it was just like, considering how much of a big deal it is, it was one of those things that just kind of just never really got the recognition that I guess it deserves. But we're doing that now. We're giving it the recognition. The only thing I could find on Bridge River that had any kind of historical information was the old Gold Trails and Ghost Towns episode by Bill Barley. But other than that, guys, I haven't seen anything really on it, which is sad because frankly, there should be a lot more on Bridge River country. I could do a series of videos on Bridge River, and we will. So keep posted for the series. Not even down an eighth of a tank. 19.9. I've actually gotten better mileage since we started. So we're doing really well. And I got a jerry can of fuel so we can use that if we need it. And we're good. Yeah, it's just, why not? It's better than worrying about getting to the gas station. Oh, feels like we're starting to get into a town almost here. This is the gas station, guys. So this is Gold Bridge. Boom. That's the gas station. Right, that's one of those industrial ones. The hotel here. So let's just pull in, park for a second, take a walk around. Yeah, this is Gold Bridge, guys. Alrighty, guys, so here we are at Gold Bridge, town of Gold Bridge. That's the hotel. Welcome to the Gold Bridge Hotel. Support town for Gun Lake, Bralorne, surrounding communities. It's basically just a place to come get some gas. There's a store here, a place to sleep if you want to stay in a hotel. And then the road, Bralorne is just 11 kilometers up the road, and that's where all the mining was taking place. So we're going to go over there, check all that out, go see if we can see the Pioneer, the old wreckage from the Pioneer mine. The Bralorne Pioneer mine complex, I should say. So, but this is the town, guys. Gold Bridge. Little mining cart. Lots of these all over town here. For ore. Little ore cart. What is this? Adjustment of clamp. Oh, it's a clamp for dies. Interesting. What does that say? Close the clamp. Oh, those are just instructions. But yeah, guys, Gold Bridge, some gas there. We're on Ferguson Street. And then the hotel, the Gold Bridge Hotel. Alrighty, guys, so on the road to Bralorne. So we just stopped in Gold Bridge. Gold Bridge, guys, like I said, mainly a support town for Bralorne and the surrounding area. Gun Lake. Gun Lake has a lot of cottages. People come up here. It's cottage country, so summertime. Everybody brings their boats up here, goes out on the lake, you know, stay at the cabin, kind of a thing. It'd be nice. I'd love to stay at a cottage up here. But that's all Gun Lake. And then Bralorne, obviously, with the gold mining, like I said. Talisker Resources out of Toronto there. They're working to get this mine redeveloped, guys. Because when it closed, the only reason it shut down was not for lack of gold, even, or anything like that. It was just gold. The price of gold at the time in 1971 didn't make a good business case for any further operation. But like I said, now that the price of gold has gone up and gold is valuable again, right? Because it can fluctuate quite a bit depending on how what the world is doing and what the economy is doing. It's now viable again, and Bralorne has some of the richest ore in the world, guys. We're gonna talk about that when we get to Bralorne, but very, very rich. And then this is these are the Gold Bridge switchbacks. There's a YouTube video of a trucker, semi-truck driver driving down this in his big rig.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Well, that was here?
That's here. That's
okay.
These switchbacks. It's got like a lot of views on it. It's got like almost 1 million views, I think. But it's really sketchy driving. But he's driving like a big rig, and you got this turns he makes in it and stuff. Like even in this pickup truck, it's definitely enough effort. Only imagine driving a big rig. You got to do these wide turns. And so there are several things going on here, guys. There's like several ghost towns. We're passing through Brexton, which was a mining camp, basically. 38 claims around there, and had some mining going on. And then there was Ogden, but these were company towns, right? They're run by the company, so certain activities were frowned upon, let's say. So Ogden filled that place. Ogden was basically, it had a hotel, it had a whole bunch of stuff, taverns and stuff. So people would go to Ogden from the company towns if they, we wanted beer or whatever or something, right? Because a lot of times company towns don't allow alcohol and other amenities, right? That guys typically that work in those industries like. So one of the hotels in Ogden had a mine above a fireplace. The little mini gold mine above a fireplace, and some guy was just like mining on the top of the fireplace. So it's a very quirky area. But Brexton is basically fully a ghost town now. Like there's not really anything other than just trees. But there used to be buildings here. Ogden, same thing. Bralorne is next in the chain. Bralorne's kind of the big one, the big town. And then there's Bradian as well. Bradian. One of them's for sale, actually. You can buy, I think it's like $1 million. You can buy an entire town, basically. And this is a region to watch, guys. This is a region to keep an eye on, especially now, modern times, because the infrastructure is here in the means of like hydroelectricity and power. The road infrastructure, like we got a paved road here. The road infrastructure is here. And the mine has already kind of been worked on. It's just, like I said, they stopped working on it because it wasn't profitable at the time. But things have changed, and so now Talisker Resources is starting to kind of reassess, like how much money can we make off of this. And some of these veins, like they only mined like 30 of the veins. There's over 87 veins, or like 87 or some veins of gold deposits that were found of varying purities, but only 30 of them have been mined. They just stopped doing it because it's just, being as isolated as it is, it's hard. There's a lot of other things involved than just mining the gold. Like I said, the biggest part is like, okay, well, nice, we've got all this gold, but you've got to get it somewhere, and then you've got to either turn it into gold bars or coins, or like how are you using it, right? What is it getting used for? Like all that gold, the 800 ounces of gold they recovered from Lytton there, the confluence of the Thompson, that kind of kickstarted the Fraser Gold Rush, that was all sent to San Francisco to the mint. And then the guys at the mint were like, where did this come from? Like, where are you getting all this gold from? And then they were gone. As soon as they heard it was Fraser River, British Columbia, or British territory, and Rupert's Land basically at that point. That was it, right? They're off. And there's hotels in Bralorne as well, guys. A couple restaurants. There's a tavern here, a bar. It opens at 6 though. It's for the workers because there's about 50 miners. Once the miners came back for Talisier, they added about 50 people, so it's up to 60 now. It's got a population of 60 people. So it's small. But it's I love those towns. There's a town up in the Yukon like that, Keno City. These really these micro places, under 100 people. You usually have a lot of really cool stuff. Everybody knows everybody here, right? You're basically family in a town like this. Anybody you live with in the town. Almost there. A kilometer 115. You can see we're just getting to the snow line now. We're just starting to creep up there. But yes, definitely more extreme than the Big Bend. Similar though to the Big Bend. This is Bralorne. Welcome to Bralorne. Bralorne Pub. Bralorne, population 60. Oh yeah, that was the sign. It changes, yeah. Welcome to Bralorne, population ? Let's go over and see what the community hall is all about, because there's some info here. Bralorne Community Hall. The community hall and gym and the community club theater show hall provided a well-utilized center for community life. In 1933, the show hall was built on the adjacent lot to the north to the community hall built in 1936. The two buildings housed the theater, library, club, office, barbershop, beauty parlor, meeting room, gymnasium, stage and dance floor, and lounge rooms. The Bralorne Community Club worked as a local non-profit making organization devoted to the purpose of promoting suitable social entertainment for its members. It had a full-time club manager and oversaw the majority of organized recreation here. In addition to money received from the mines for construction of the buildings, the club was financed through a monthly $1 levy on all mine employees, who were in turn all club members and had membership privileges to the facilities and activities operated by the club. The club governed, financed, and directed the following clubs and programs in Bralorne: Gold Diggers Hockey Club, Baseball Club, Basketball Club, Badminton Club, Tennis Club, Ski Club, Bridge Club, Ladies Gym Class, Men's Gym, Children's Gym, Ice Skating, Softball, Community Club Dances, and the Bralorne Band. It was responsible for the publication of the Bralorne Communicator and for the operation of the library and show hall movie theater. In addition, it provided public meeting space for community theater productions, managed the Injured Players Trust Fund, and oversaw the community's general welfare. In this building, the club hosted live music, fight nights, school and community dances, and provided space to the club for parties, memorials, and meetings. Immediately south of the community hall are the remains of the community swimming pool. The mine constructed the pool in memory of Don Matheson, general manager, who died in November 1957. While the show hall is no longer standing, the community hall is largely unchanged from when it was constructed. These mining carts. Oh, for the patio. That's kind of cool. Little mining carts. Hard rock mining town, guys. Oh, Bank of Montreal. A lot going on here, guys, back in the day. It was huge. And then over here, guys, this is how you get here from Pemberton. Hurley River Road, seasonal. You don't want to take this road right now. But yeah, you follow this road and it takes you on a Forest Service road that eventually ends up in Pemberton. The Hurley won't be passable until late May. Late May is usually when things start opening up. When we were at Pioneer, we were just below the snow line, right? So, or almost at the snow line, basically. So we've got Ogden, Brexton, Bradian, Bralorne, and then Pioneer is the last one down. That was for the mine. You go a little bit further. Pioneer Mine Road. Go straight. Yeah, okay. Continue on. Let's just go see Pioneer and then start back to the end. And then I'll get out in Bralorne and walk around and we'll talk a little bit about everything. But I just want to see if there's some wreckage. It's a little bit further down here. Just a little bit. So Pioneer, guys. This would be the Pioneer Mine. There was a ghost town for Pioneer. Oh, snow. We're seeing snow now. I think it's wreckage from the mill. The old mill wreckage. I just want to see if there's anything down here, because it says there is, but we'll see. I see something. Oh yeah, a little bit of, I see something. There's like some kind of wreckage or something. Yeah, we'll stop here. Yeah. You're not going anywhere. No. I'm just gonna walk over there and see the ruins. I'll turn around though. Yeah. No, I'm not driving over that. All right, guys, here we go. Sighted the Pioneer Mine. Bralorne. You can see there's ruins here. Old footings, some garbage. Oh yeah, here's the ruins. Perfect. The old mill. Right here, guys, yeah. This is the mill. See all the garbage? That's the old mill, guys. See, there's still snow on and stuff. But that's the old mill. We got her. I'm happy. I was hoping we'd get this far. But this is the Pioneer Mine, guys. Shaft in the side of the hill. You can see all the ruins here. Rubble. Some old machinery. Pipe fittings, pipe connections, rusted out pieces of metal. Drums. Are these drums for processing the ore? Let's see if I can get down here. Oh yeah. It's the old mill. Processing mill. The pistons. Pelton wheel. This is the power pack. Old mill foundations. Drums for crushers. The crushers. Inside there, the drum. More rubble. There's garbage everywhere. It's total wreck now. Oh, that was sketchy. Rusty nail. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna just about stepped on a rusty nail, so I'm gonna count my blessings. Hazardous here, man. You can see, guys, lots going on here. Is it pipe connection here? And then the road continues on up. Falling apart though. But this would have been processing for the ore for Bralorne. You see all the rubble here. There's pipes everywhere. Like here, these old footings. We saw those drums. Twisted steel. Kind of want to see that processing facility. See if I can get over there. But I just got to be careful because those nails. You can see there's lots of sharp, rusty garbage all over here. See the old footings? Oh, here we go. Still snow on the ground. Oh yeah, the gears, how they work. For the crushers. Little trees growing up here. Totally in ruins though. But I'm happy we got it. I'm happy we found this. Pioneer Mine, guys. The Bralorne Pioneer Mine complex. So it's a series of gold claims that were staked. And then they're all purchased and conglomerated. And then it formed the Bralorne Pioneer Mines complex. And then the show began. 1897, it was first staked. Like guys hiked from Lillooet. Cadwallader Creek, Pioneer Mines, Bralorne Gold Rush. So this is what started it all, guys. This is what started the gold rush. So basically, Bridge River Gold Rush, they've been discovered gold on the Bridge River. Then they went up Tyotin Creek, Gun Creek, right? Those creeks that had gold in them. And then they got to here. And a fellow by the name of Cadwallader was panning and they found some gold nuggets. It's a pretty coarse gold. And that was in 1858, but then nothing really transpired after that. They got some good coarse gold, but then just over there in the mountains, hiding behind the Douglas fir trees, was hard load ore. Big, big hard load ore. But that didn't happen until 1897. And then in 1897, there's 3 claims staked. The King claim, the Marquis claim, and the Lorne claim. And then, like I said, they all amalgamated into one. Pioneer as well. The 40 Thieves. There was a bunch of different claims. But this is Cadwallader Creek, guys. You can see there was once a lot of activity here. Huge mining operation, guys. Ran 365 days of the year. All out, getting gold out. That's really cool, all the snow melting. Caldwallader Creek, guys. Placer Gold Creek. Alrighty guys, so we're gonna come down the mountain now into Gold Bridge. Alrighty guys, so here we are, Bridge River country, guys. Look at it. Look how gorgeous this is. You can see there's raining over there. The snowy capped mountains. Still winter up there. It's cold. It's about 5 degrees up where we are. We're up elevation though. Like I said, it's amazing what a little bit of elevation will do for you. We got the green signs, guys. These are the Gold Rush history signs. So, Bridge River Gold. The famed Bralorne and Pioneer mines constitute British Columbia's leading gold camp. In the 1860s, prospectors from the Fraser River and Caribou region found gold in the gravel of the Bridge River. Hard rock claims were staked in the 1890s. More than 100 million in gold has come from the rich ore of these mines since 1932. And the Bridge River gold, guys, was largely classified in with the Fraser River gold because the Bridge River was an offshoot of the Fraser River. So a lot of the gold counts are typically clumped in with the Fraser. And honestly, you can't really look at those numbers with any kind of real sincerity because guys didn't report their findings, right? A lot of guys wouldn't report everything they found. So a lot of gold strikes went unrecorded, or, you know, guys fudged numbers, or guys, they didn't report everything. So it's really hard to get exact totals of gold. Imagine hiking over this land though, eh? The one thing you guys got to understand about Bralorne is that it was the richest gold camp in British Columbia, guys. It was the longest running and the richest. It frankly was one of Canada's best gold mines. There might be a few mines up in Northern Ontario that have the same kind of legacy for like the richness of the ore and the amount of the ore found, like Timmins, Ontario, Abitibi region in Quebec. That's a very, very rich, pure lode ore, some of the nicest lode ore. I've gotten some good ore out of that region, but BC's Timmins is Bralorne. 100 ounces to a ton in some cases, guys, like crazy rich. Like, the Bralorne gold strikes were the richest strike you can find almost in BC, which is why nowadays they're actually giving it a second thought for gold mining, because the ore here is just so pure and so laced. It's the gold camp of British Columbia. Bralorne is, and Bill Barley said it, and I say it myself as well. It epitomizes the hard rock mining town of British Columbia. 100 ounces to a ton. That's a little hard, like. That's hard to grasp how much gold that is, right? That you're pouring brick after brick after brick at that point. But there's a series of faults. It's all fractured here. The gold deposits are mesozonal gold deposits, which means that they formed about 6 to 12 kilometers down in the earth, and they form on convergent boundaries. And basically, like, as the terrains are smashing into North America, it's hitting and getting fractured 12 kilometers down, and then these fissures form, and then hydrothermal fluid comes up through the rocks, precipitates all the gold into the hydrothermal fluid, which then fills in with the quartz veins, which gives you the gold, right? Miners always looking for quartz, want to find those juicy quartz veins. Well, this is a prime example because the mesozonal gold deposit, which is the geologic term for it, it's an orogenic deposit. Orogenies are just mountain building events, which basically just means these mountains you see here, the crust out in the ocean is crashing into North America. And as it crashes into North America, it scrunches up. And these scrunches are these mountains you see here. And so the mesozonal orogenic gold deposits of the Bralorne area are through this process. One of the things that made Bralorne such a big deal was that hard rock mining, guys, you need assets, you need money, you need people to finance you. You know, you need resources. Whereas a placer guy, you get a popcorn bowl and a shovel and start digging in the river, and you can pull out, you know, a couple pennyweights or a couple ounces maybe. And there's very little like overhead that's required, right? You don't have equipment, you got a maintenance. You don't have a shaft, you've got a maintenance. You don't got to buy timber for shoring. You don't got to pay a whole list of guys doing various different jobs, right? They had welders, pipe fitters, boiler makers, miners, mechanics, engineers, geologists, right? You got to have all these people on a payroll. And keep in mind, guys, there's 80 kilometers of tunnels in Bralorne. It actually goes down some of the veins they're chasing. Like some of these veins go for over a kilometer. One of the hardest things when you're lode mining is like, hey, I got all this rock, but now you got to crush the rock up. You've got to extract the silver, the gold. But with the free gold in Bralorne, the big deal with it is that it required very little processing. Like you could almost pick the gold out. You didn't have to smash it, over and over and over. And we saw the mill at Pioneer Mines, guys. The crushers for stamping. Yeah, guys, Bralorne, British Columbia's premier gold camp. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to the video. Leave a comment. Hit the bell icon to get notified. And Sasquatch Prospector out.